I worked 15 years building my dad's failing business into a $20 million company. Then he handed it to my brother who'd never even worked there. 15 years of 80-hour weeks and sacrifice relationships. Then he gave everything to his golden child who studied art history. My name is Chen. I'm 42 years old. For 15 years I built my father's company. Took it from $300,000 in debt and on the verge of bankruptcy to a thriving $20 million business. Worked 80-hour weeks. Sacrificed my marriage. Missed watching my kids grow up. Gave everything to that company. I was CEO, second in command, on track to take over when Dad retired. Then last year he called a family meeting. I'm retiring. Your brother Kevin will be the new CEO. Kevin, my younger brother, who has a PhD in art history, who's never worked at the company, not one single day, who doesn't know the difference between a 2x4 and a 4x4. But he has a doctorate. He's educated. He deserves this opportunity. 15 years. Erased. Because my brother has better credentials on paper. I quit. Started my own company. Took half the clients with me. Now Dad's company is failing again, and he wants me to come back and fix it. This is the story of building something from nothing, only to watch your father give it away to the golden child who did nothing. I'm the older son. Always was. Kevin's 7 years younger. Growing up the dynamic was clear. I was the responsible one. Kevin was the creative one. I got good grades because I worked hard, studied, did my homework. Kevin got good grades because he was naturally smart. I played sports, was decent, made varsity through effort. Kevin did theater, was brilliant, natural talent. I went to state school, got a degree in business, practical, employable. Kevin went to a private liberal arts college, full scholarship, studied art history because he loved it. Our parents were proud of both of us, but they lit up differently for Kevin. When I graduated college they were happy, took me to dinner, said congratulations. When Kevin graduated they threw a party, invited everyone, bragged about his honors, his thesis, his acceptance to a PhD program. I didn't resent it. Not really. Kevin was special. I knew that. I accepted it. I got a job at a mid-sized construction firm in Houston. Project manager. Good salary. Learning the industry. Kevin went to grad school in New York, Columbia. Got his master's, then his PhD. My parents visited him constantly, went to his presentations, showed off his publications. I was building a career. Kevin was building a legacy, different paths. When I was 27, I'd been working for 5 years, was doing well, had offers from bigger firms, better positions. Then Dad called. Marcus, I need to talk to you about the business. Dad had started Chen construction 30 years earlier, built it from nothing, small commercial projects, steady work. It had been successful, provided for our family, paid for our education. But in recent years it had struggled. Dad was getting older. The industry was changing. He wasn't keeping up. I need help, he said. The company's in trouble. We're $300,000 in debt. Losing clients. I don't know how to turn it around. Have you thought about selling? This is our family legacy. Your grandfather came here with nothing. I built this company. I can't just sell it. What about hiring someone? A consultant? I can't afford that. Marcus, I need family. Someone I can trust. Someone who'll care about this like I do. He looked at me. Desperate. Tired. I need you. I had a good job. A future. A life in Houston. But he was my father. This was family. What are you offering? I can pay you $35,000 a year. I know that's less than you're making now. But once we turn this around you'll be part owner. This will be yours someday. Yours someday. The promise. I thought about it for a week. Talked to my girlfriend at the time, Rachel. It's a pay cut. And your dad's company is struggling. Is that smart? It's family. And if I can turn it around, I'll own part of it. That's worth something. What about Kevin? Isn't he supposed to inherit too? Kevin's getting his PhD. He's not interested in construction. This would be mine. I took the job. Moved back to Austin. Started at Chen Construction as a project manager. The company was worse than Dad described. $300,000 in debt, outdated systems, losing money on every project, clients leaving. The office was stuck in 1985. Paper files, no computers, no project management software. The crew was aging. Same guys Dad had worked with for 20 years, resistant to change. I dove in, started learning everything, went to sites, talked to crews, reviewed every project, every contract, every expense. Found the problems: inefficiency, outdated methods, poor bidding, no quality control. I started making changes, slowly at first. Dad was resistant. This is how we've always done it. And you're $300,000 in debt. We need to change. I brought in computers, project management software, digital systems. Retrained the crew, brought in younger workers, updated equipment. Improved our bidding process, started winning contracts again. It was brutal. 80-hour weeks, on-site during the day, in the office at night, learning, building, fighting for every inch of progress. Dad fought me on everything, every change, every innovation. This isn't how we do things. It is now, if you want to survive. Slowly he started trusting me, letting me lead. Within 2 years we were profitable again. Debt paid off, new clients, growing revenue. I was 29. Rachel and I got married. She understood the hours, the commitment, or she said she did. By year 3 we hit $2 million in annual revenue, growing fast. I hired more people, expanded operations. Dad stepped back, let me run things. He'd come in a few hours a day, check on projects, but I was managing everything. By year 5 we hit $5 million. I was promoted to VP of Operations. Rachel was pregnant with our first child, Emma. I missed the birth, was on-site dealing with a crisis, a project that was going wrong, millions at stake. Rachel never quite forgave me for that. But the company was thriving. That's what mattered. That's what I told myself. Kevin finished his PhD when I was 32. We all flew to New York for his graduation. The ceremony was beautiful. Kevin gave a speech. Our parents cried with pride. At dinner afterward, Dad toasted Kevin. My son, Dr. Kevin Chen. I'm so proud. I was happy for Kevin. He'd worked hard, achieved something remarkable. But I'd been working 80-hour weeks for 5 years, building Dad's company, saving his legacy. No toast for that. Kevin got a teaching position at UT Austin, part-time, taught art history, published papers, lived a comfortable academic life. He'd come to family dinners, talk about his research, his students, his travel. Dad would beam. My son, the professor. I talk about the company, new contracts, revenue growth, expanding operations. That's good, Marcus. Business is good. That's good. Different energy, different pride. Year 7 we hit $10 million in revenue. I was promoted to COO, Chief Operating Officer. The promotion came with a small ceremony. Dad called everyone into the conference room. I want to announce that Marcus is our new COO. He's earned this, worked harder than anyone I've ever seen. The company wouldn't be here without him. The team applauded. I felt proud, validated. Finally, recognition. But running the entire company meant even more responsibility, more hours, more pressure. Dad was barely involved anymore. Came in once a week, signed papers, collected his salary. But it was his company on paper. I was just the employee making it successful. I was living in a nice condo by then, driving a decent car, making good money. But I had no life outside work. My assistant would joke, "Do you ever go home?" Eventually, after everyone else leaves. You're going to burn out. I'll rest when we hit $20 million. 20 million was my goal, the number that would prove I'd truly transformed the company. It was my company in everything but title. Rachel wanted another baby. I was never home, working constantly. We'd have these conversations, the same conversation, over and over. When are you going to slow down? She'd ask. When the company's stable, when we've really made it. Marcus, we're making $10 million a year. We're financially secure. Emma barely sees you. What more do you need? I'm building something. For our family. For Emma. For our future. This company will be ours someday. Mine and the kids. That's worth the sacrifice. But what if the sacrifice costs us everything else? It won't. Just a few more years. Then I can step back. I believed that. Truly believed it. We had our second child, Jackson. I missed his birth too. Not entirely, but I showed up an hour after he was born, was dealing with a major client crisis. Project had gone wrong. $1 million contract at risk. I had to be there. Rachel was holding Jackson when I arrived, looked at me with exhausted eyes. You missed it. I'm sorry. There was a crisis. There's always a crisis. This was different. They're all different. They're all urgent. They're all more important than us. That's not fair. I'm doing this for us. She didn't respond, just looked at our newborn son. I'd missed Emma's birth. Now Jackson's. 2 strikes. But the company hit $11 million that year. We were on track. Year 8, year 9, the growth continued. I implemented new systems, new technology, brought in talented people. We became known for quality, reliability, innovation. Clients sought us out. We could be selective about projects. My reputation in the industry grew, speaking at conferences, industry awards. Marcus Chen, COO of Chen Construction, turning around struggling companies and building them into industry leaders. The recognition felt good, validated all the sacrifice. But at home things were falling apart. Emma was 6. Jackson was 3. They barely knew me. I'd come home after they were asleep, leave before they woke up. Weekends I was in the office or on job sites. Rachel stopped asking me to family events, stopped expecting me at dinner. Just managed the household alone, single parent with a husband who was never there. Emma asked about you today, she'd say. What did she ask? If you still live here. She sees you so rarely she wasn't sure. That hurt, but not enough to change. The company needed me. We were so close to that $15 million mark. Year 10 we hit it. $15 million in annual revenue. I was 37, a decade of my life dedicated to this company. We'd grown 5,000%, from near bankruptcy to industry leader. I'd sacrificed my 20s, my early 30s, my marriage, my relationship with my kids. But we'd made it. We were legitimate, successful, unstoppable. I thought Dad would make me a partner, give me ownership, something. I brought it up, carefully, over lunch. Dad, I want to talk about ownership. I've been here 10 years, built this company. I think it's time to discuss partnership. He looked uncomfortable. You have a great salary, profit sharing. You're well compensated. I'm not talking about compensation. I'm talking about ownership, equity. This is a family business, Marcus. I'm family. I mean, it stays in the family, under my control. When I'm gone, it'll go to my children. You and Kevin. Equal shares. Equal shares. With Kevin, who'd never worked here, never contributed. Kevin's never even visited the office. He's still family, still my son. This will be both of yours someday. Both of ours, equally. No recognition that I'd built it, that Kevin had done nothing. What if I want ownership now, while you're still here? That's not something I'm considering, but you're secure. You'll inherit. Be patient. Patient. After 10 years. I dropped it, for then. Working 80-hour weeks. Sacrificed my marriage. Missed watching my kids grow up. Gave everything to that company. Year 10 we hit $15 million. Expanded into commercial and residential. Diversified. Became one of the top construction firms in Austin. I was 37. Working harder than ever. The bigger we got, the more complex it became. Rachel asked for a divorce. You're married to that company, not to me. Emma and Jackson barely know you. This isn't a marriage. She was right. I knew she was right. But I couldn't stop. I was so close. Building something massive. We divorced. She got the house. Custody. I got weekends with the kids when I wasn't working. Which wasn't often. Emma was 8. Jackson was 5. They barely knew me. But the company hit $18 million that year. Almost there. Kevin got tenure at UT. Published a book on Renaissance art. Dad hosted a celebration dinner. My son the published author. The tenured professor. So much pride. So much joy. I just finalized my divorce. Lost my family because of my dedication to Dad's company. No celebration for that. Year 12 we hit $20 million in annual revenue. $20 million. From $300,000 in debt to $20 million in revenue. I done that. My strategy. My leadership. My sacrifice. Dad was 70 by then. Barely came to the office. I was running everything. I assumed succession was obvious. I was CEO. I'd built this company. When Dad retired, it would be mine. We never talked about it explicitly, but it was understood. Had to be. Year 13, year 14, year 15. We maintained that $20 million. Stayed profitable. Built a reputation as one of the best firms in Texas. I was 41. My kids were teenagers. Emma was 16. Jackson was 13. I barely knew them. Rachel had remarried. A teacher. He was at their soccer games. Their school plays. Being the dad I should have been. But I had the company. That was my consolation. Then last year Dad had a health scare. Heart palpitations. Thought it was a heart attack. Wasn't. But it scared him. He called a family meeting. Me, Kevin, Mom. At his house. Sunday afternoon. I've been thinking about retirement, Dad said. I'm 72. It's time. This was it. The transition. Finally. 15 years of work. About to pay off. I've made a decision about succession. I sat up straighter. Ready. Kevin will take over as CEO. The words didn't make sense at first. What? Kevin will be the new CEO of Chen Construction. Effective in 3 months. I looked at Kevin. He looked uncomfortable but not surprised. Dad, I said carefully. Kevin's never worked at the company. He's brilliant. He has a doctorate. He can learn. Construction isn't something you learn in 3 months. Takes years. Decades. You'll teach him. You'll be there to support him. I'm CEO. I've been running this company for 15 years. And you'll continue to. So, reporting to Kevin. Reporting to Kevin, my younger brother, who knew nothing about construction. This doesn't make sense. Dad's face hardened. Kevin is my son too. He deserves an opportunity. This is a family business. That means both my sons. Kevin has a career. A successful career. He doesn't need this. Neither do you. You have a good salary. Good position. Kevin deserves a chance to lead. I turned to Kevin. Do you even want this? He shifted uncomfortably. Dad asked me to. I said I'd try. I can learn. In 3 months? You'll be CEO in 3 months. Marcus will help me, Dad said. You'll train him. Support him. Make this transition smooth. I've built this company. From nothing. 15 years of my life. And I'm grateful. But this is about family. About both my sons having opportunities. Kevin has spent his life in academia. Now it's his turn to lead something. He doesn't know anything about construction. He'll learn. He's smart. Educated. He has a doctorate, Marcus. That shows discipline. Intelligence. Leadership potential. I have 15 years of actual leadership. Of actual results. Mom spoke for the first time. Marcus, don't yell at your father. He's made his decision. This is insane. Dad stood. My mind is made up. Kevin will be CEO. You'll report to him. If you can't accept that, you're welcome to leave. Leave. After 15 years. After building this from nothing. Dad. This discussion is over. I left. Drove around for hours. Couldn't believe it. 15 years. 80-hour weeks. A destroyed marriage. Kids I barely knew. All for this. To report to my younger brother who'd never worked a day in construction. I called my lawyer the next day. I need to review my contract. My ownership stake. You don't have an ownership stake. You're an employee. Well paid. But an employee. My father promised. Do you have that in writing? Of course I didn't. It was family. It was understood. Or so I thought. 3 months later, Kevin started as CEO. He showed up in a suit, fresh haircut, ready to lead. Knew nothing about construction, about our clients, about our operations. I tried to teach him. I did, for the first month. Explained our projects, our bidding process, our client relationships. He nodded, took notes, asked questions that showed how little he understood. Why do we need 3 bids for materials? To ensure competitive pricing, standard practice. Couldn't we just use one supplier? Build a relationship. We do have preferred suppliers, but we still need to verify pricing. Seems inefficient. This was going to be a disaster. Kevin started making changes. Immediately. First week, he called an all-hands meeting. I want to introduce a new company culture. More creative, more innovative, more modern. The construction crew looked at each other, confused. These were guys who'd been pouring concrete and framing buildings for 20 years. We're going to implement flat hierarchy. No more top-down management. Everyone's voice matters equally. I closed my eyes. This was going to be a disaster. After the meeting, the project managers came to me. What is he talking about? Flat hierarchy? We have deadlines, budgets. Someone has to make decisions. Just do your jobs. I'll handle Kevin. But I couldn't handle Kevin. He was CEO. He started making decisions without consulting anyone. We should rebrand, update our image, appeal to a younger demographic. We were in my office. I just finished reviewing a major bid. We're a construction company. Our clients don't care about branding. They care about quality and price. I disagree. Brand matters in every industry. I've been reading about corporate identity. We need to modernize. Kevin, our clients are developers and property managers. They're not hiring us because of our logo. You're thinking too small. We need to position ourselves for the future. He hired a branding firm, without my approval, without board approval, just did it. Cost, $200,000. They created a new logo, sleek, modern, looked like a tech startup. New website, all aesthetic, barely mentioned our actual projects or capabilities. New tagline, building tomorrow's vision today. Our clients didn't care, didn't even notice. But Kevin was proud. See, we look legitimate now. We already looked legitimate. We'd been building quality projects for 30 years. Then he started attending client meetings. I'd spent 15 years building relationships with these clients, understood their needs, spoke their language. Now Kevin was showing up, in his expensive suit, using academic language. First meeting was with Tom Richardson, developer, one of our biggest clients. I'd worked with Tom for a decade, built 6 properties for him. Kevin wanted to come, introduce himself as the new CEO. We sat in Tom's office. Small talk, then business. So Tom, I've been reviewing our partnership, Kevin said. I think there's room for us to add more value. Tom looked at me, then at Kevin. We're happy with the current arrangement. But we could do more. I'm envisioning a more holistic approach. Not just construction but consultation, design, project management, end-to-end solutions. We have architects for design, project managers for management. We need you to build, which you do well. But imagine if we could streamline. Tom interrupted. Kevin, no offense, but Marcus and I have a system that works. We don't need to change it. Kevin pushed. Change is good. Innovation is essential. I stepped in. Tom, we're happy to continue our current arrangement. Kevin's just exploring ideas. After the meeting, Tom pulled me aside. What's going on? Where did he come from? He's my brother. My father's retiring. Kevin's taking over. Has he ever worked in construction? No. He has a PhD in art history. Tom stared at me. Are you serious? Unfortunately. Marcus, I've worked with you for 10 years. I trust you, but I don't know this guy. And frankly, he doesn't seem to know construction. He's learning. Learn on someone else's projects. I need experienced people. That conversation happened 3 more times with 3 other major clients. Within 3 months, we lost 2 of them. They didn't want to work with Kevin, Didn't trust him. Wanted me. But Kevin was CEO. He insisted on being involved in client relations. I need to build relationships. That's part of leadership. You build relationships by delivering quality work, not by using buzzwords in meetings. You're resistant to change. I'm resistant to losing clients. Then the project disaster started. Kevin bid on a major commercial project, downtown office building, $15 million contract. I reviewed the bid. This timeline's impossible, and we're underpricing materials. We'll lose money. I have confidence in our team. We can do this. Confidence doesn't change physics. The timeline requires twice our normal crew. The materials costs are underestimated by at least 20%. Sometimes you have to take risks. Be competitive. This isn't competitive. It's suicide. I'm CEO. I'm approving this bid. We won the contract because we were the lowest bid. 6 months later, we were behind schedule. Over budget. Client was furious. We lost $400,000 on that project. Our first major loss in 8 years. Dad called me. What's going wrong? Why are we losing money? Kevin's making bad decisions. Bidding on projects we shouldn't take. Underpricing work. Overpromising timelines. Then teach him better. You're supposed to be supporting him. I warned him. Showed him the numbers. He ignored me. Then show him again. He's learning. Be patient. Patient, while the company I built was burning. Support him, while he destroyed what I'd built. 6 months in, we'd lost 4 major clients. Revenue was down 30%. Morale was terrible. The team came to me. What's happening? Why is Kevin making these decisions? He's the CEO. He's going to run us into the ground. They were right. I went to Dad. One last time. This isn't working. Kevin's not ready. We're losing clients. Losing money. You need to make a change. Kevin needs more time. We don't have more time. At this rate, we'll be bankrupt in a year. That's dramatic. It's accurate. Look at the numbers. He did. Finally. Couldn't deny them. Then help him more. You're not supporting him enough. I'm CEO. I'm doing my job. But he's making decisions I can't override. Because he's CEO. As he should be. He's destroying the company. He's learning. Growing pains are normal. These aren't growing pains. This is incompetence. Dad's face turned red. That's your brother. My son. And this is the company I spent 15 years building. Which I own. Not you. Me. And I've decided Kevin should lead it. There it was. The truth. I'd never own this company. No matter what I did. No matter how much I sacrificed. It was Dad's. And he'd give it to whoever he wanted. And he wanted to give it to Kevin. I quit the next day. Gave 2 weeks' notice. Professional. Clean. Kevin seemed relieved. I think this is best. We have different visions. Different visions. He had no vision. Just a title he didn't earn. Dad was furious. You're abandoning your brother. Your family. I'm leaving a job where I'm not valued. You're valued. You're just not CEO. After 15 years, that's exactly what I should be. Kevin deserves this opportunity. Kevin deserves what he earns. He's earned nothing. He's my son. So am I. But apparently the son with the doctorate matters more than the son who saved your company. I left. Started my own construction company, Chen and Associates. I had relationships, reputation, expertise. Half our old clients followed me, called within weeks. Marcus, we heard you started your own firm. We want to work with you. Within 6 months, I had $8 million in contracts, growing fast. My company was lean, efficient, everything I'd built before but mine. Dad's company continued to struggle. Kevin was in over his head. Revenue dropped to $12 million, then $10 million, then $8 million. Clients left. Employees quit. Came to work for me. Kevin called me once. Can we talk? I need advice. I don't work there anymore. But you know this business. I'm struggling. You're the CEO. Figure it out. He called Dad. Dad called me. Your brother needs help. He has a doctorate. He's smart, educated. He'll figure it out. Marcus, don't be petty. I'm not being petty. I'm running my own company, which is thriving, by the way. Up to $10 million in annual revenue in less than a year. Silence. You're stealing our clients. I'm not stealing anyone. They chose to work with me because they trust me, because I have 15 years of experience. You're destroying the family business. No, Dad. You did that when you handed it to someone who wasn't qualified. Kevin is qualified. Kevin has never worked in construction, has no experience, no relationships, no understanding of the industry, but he has a PhD. So you gave him my company. It was never your company. Exactly. And that's why I left. Last month, Dad called again. The company's in serious trouble. We're down to $6 million in revenue, losing money. We might have to close. I'm sorry to hear that. I need you to come back. No. Marcus, please. This is our family legacy. It was. Until you gave it to Kevin. I made a mistake. I see that now. Kevin's not ready. But you are. Come back. Take over. Save this. Why would I do that? Because it's family. Family? You chose Kevin over me. Gave him everything I'd built. Told me to report to him. Now that it's failing, you want me back. I'm asking for help. And I'm saying no. What about your brother? What about him? Ezio, let him fix it. He can't. You know he can't. Then maybe you shouldn't have made him CEO. I'll give you ownership. Real ownership. 50% of the company. I don't want 50% of a failing company. I have 100% of a successful one. Marcus, please. I'm begging you. You made your choice, Dad. You chose credentials over competence, a degree over dedication, Kevin over me. Now you live with it. I hung up. Haven't talked to him since. My company just signed a $15 million contract, biggest in my career. I'm 42, building something that's actually mine. Dad's company is closing, filing for bankruptcy. Kevin's going back to teaching. Mom calls sometimes. Your father is heartbroken. So was I, when he gave my company to Kevin. He made a mistake. He made a choice. Choices have consequences. You're his son. He needs you. I needed him to value what I built, to recognize my sacrifice. He didn't. Now I'm moving on. Emma is 17 now. Jackson is 14. I see them every week. Actually see them, not just weekend visits. We have dinner, talk. I go to their events, soccer games, school plays. The things I missed while building Dad's company. They're getting to know me. Finally. Dad, why don't you talk to Grandpa anymore? Emma asked recently. It's complicated. We had a disagreement about business. He seems sad. I'm sure he is. But some things can't be fixed. Do you miss working with him? I miss what I thought we were building together. But it turns out we weren't building it together. I was building it alone. My company is projected to hit $18 million this year. Growing steadily. Hired amazing people. People who left Dad's company to work for me. Because they believe in what we're building. I'm doing it right this time. Clear ownership. Clear succession. No promises, only contracts. My VP of operations is brilliant. Been with me since the beginning. She'll take over someday. Because she's earning it. Merit. Not birthright. Dad's company officially closed last week. Bankruptcy finalized. Kevin's back at UT full-time. Teaching. Publishing. Doing what he's actually good at. The company that survived 30 years. That I saved and grew to $20 million. Dead. Because Dad gave it to the wrong son. Mom called. Your father wants to apologize. I don't need an apology. He realizes he was wrong. That he should have chosen you. I don't need him to realize anything. I've moved on. Can't you forgive him? I don't hate him, Mom. I'm not angry anymore. But I'm not going back. Not to that relationship. Not to that dynamic. He's your father. And I'm his son. The one who sacrificed everything for his company. The one he chose to overlook. I'm done being overlooked. I built something once. From nothing. for someone else. Now I'm building something for myself, for my kids, for my future. And no one can take this one away. Because it's mine. Have you ever built something for years only to watch someone else get the credit? Have you ever been passed over for someone less qualified because they had better credentials? Have you ever sacrificed everything for a family business only to be told you'll never own it? Share your experience in the comments. Sometimes the only way to win is to stop playing someone else's game. If you believe that you can't let someone build your company for 15 years, then give it to someone who's never worked there. Hit that like button and subscribe. Because credentials don't build companies. Hard work does. And the person who does the work deserves to own the results. #gave it to my brother.